Second reactions we're going to take a look is how alcohol can react with carboxylic acid and behave as a nucleophile. So let's take a look at that. So the alcohol have an OH group. The OH, the oxygen, is delta minus. So it's actually attracted to the carbon of your carboxylic acid. In the nucleophilic substitution, the water will be produced, and in the process, your carboxylic acid loses the OH group, while your alcohol loses the hydrogen in the hydroxyl group. It's important to note that this is a nucleophilic substitution and not a neutralization, because if neutralization were to take place, carboxylic acid, being the stronger acid, will be expected to lose the H+, while alcohol, the OH minus, to form water, which is not the case. Hence, in the reaction of alcohol and carboxylic acid to produce ester, it is not a neutralization, it is a nucleophilic substitution. Do note that the reaction between alcohol, regardless whether it's 1 degree, 2 degree, or 3 degree, with carboxylic acid, that reaction is reversible. And the ester that is produced, and the yield of the ester that is produced is poor, and typically in the region of 4 to 5%. So we'll now explain why phenol does not react with carboxylic acid. The lone pair electron, the lone pair electron of oxygen in phenol is less available to allow it to act as a nucleophile. The reason for that is because the lone pair electron from the oxygen's p orbital overlaps with a delocalized pi electron in benzene, rendering that lone pair less available for nucleophilic substitution. On the contrary, in the case of alcohol, alcohol's alkyl group is electron releasing, therefore rendering the oxygen to be electron rich, and its lone pair electron thus available for nucleophilic substitution. So in conclusion, we can say that alcohol is a stronger nucleophile than your phenol. And even with alcohol as a stronger nucleophile, the percentage yield of the ester that's produced in this reaction is merely 4 to 5%. Therefore, when phenol reacts with carboxylic acid, being a poorer nucleophile, no ester will be produced. However, if we were to replace your carboxylic acid with your acid chloride, and acid chloride is a highly reactive compound, and primarily because your Cl is disproportionately larger than your C and O. So this bond is weak, and the Cl is eager to actually leave as a Cl minus. So the Cl becomes a very eager leaving group. So the Cl becomes a very eager leaving group in nucleophilic substitution. Hence, because of this, you will find that both alcohol and as well as phenol is able to react with acid chloride to produce ester. So if you take a look at the reaction, you will find that the byproduct is your hydrogen chloride, and it's important to note that the reaction is irreversible. Similarly, the reaction would occur between acid chloride and your phenol, and it will also likewise produce an ester, and the byproduct is also hydrogen chloride. Hence, in summary, we can see that carboxylic acid reacts with alcohol, and the reaction is reversible. You will need to, catalyst will be required, which is corn sulfuric acid, and it will be reflux. While carboxylic acid does not react with phenol, given the fact that phenol is a weaker nucleophile due to the fact that its lone pair electron of oxygen overlap with the delocalized pi electron in benzene, rendering that lone pair less available for nucleophilic substitution. In the case of acid chloride that's used, remember that Cl is a better leaving group in nucleophilic sub. Therefore, because of that, both phenol and both alcohol and phenol would react with acid chloride in the irreversible reaction. No catalyst is required, and the temperature and the reactions could occur at RTP. We'll now take a look at the naming of ester. One example to look at is when ethanol react with 2-methyl butanoic acid. This is the ester that you get. So firstly, do note that typically when we name ester, we will start the naming with the alcohol group, and in this case, the alcohol is ethanol. So we start that off with ethyl, which is actually this group here. Thereafter, we'll end off with typically butanoic. Butanoic will actually be the group that's from the carboxylic acid. So butanoic acid will produce butanoic. If later in the another example, for example, if you start off with propanoic acid, you will end off with propanoic. So butanoic in this case is actually the group that's highlighted as red. Finally, we'll explain the side chain that's attached to the butanoate. If there's a side chain attached to the butanoate, which in this case is a methyl group, that's why the 2-methyl butanoic acid, then the 2-butanoate, the 2 means carbon number 2, carbon number 1 start from a carboxylic acid group, which is here, which is this carbon, and then this carbon number 2. So in carbon number 2, you actually have a CH3 group that's attached there. Hence, we label that as 2-methyl butanoate. So that's how we arrive at the full naming of this ester, ethyl 2-methyl butanoate. Let us now take a look at another example, 2-methyl propanol reacting with 2-methyl propanoic acid. So certainly we're going to start off by naming it as propyl propanoate. Then let's take a look, let's examine the side chain. In the case of the alcohol side chain, it's actually a CH3 attached to carbon number 2. So this is carbon number 1, number 2. So therefore it's 2-methyl propyl. And in terms of propanoid, the side chain is also 2-methyl. And this is carbon number 1, this is carbon number 2. And hence the final naming of 2-methyl propyl and 2-methyl propanoid.